Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the world of bizarre and stomach-churning delicacies that people actually eat. You call yourselves foodies, you think you can handle a little spice? Well, get ready to have your palates assaulted and your gag reflexes tested because these dishes are not for the faint of heart. We're talking about foods that would send even the most seasoned food critic running for the hills. From fermented fish to live octopus, we're about to embark on a culinary journey that's as repulsive as it is fascinating. So buckle up, you bunch of donkeys, and get ready to discover the 10 most disgusting foods from around the globe. You've been warned. First up, we've got a little Filipino delicacy that's sure to ruffle some feathers. It's called balut, and it's basically a duck embryo that's been boiled alive and eaten in the shell. You crack open the shell, slurp down the broth, and then chomp down on the partially formed duckling inside. The texture is somewhere between a hard-boiled egg and, well, a bird fetus. People say it tastes like chicken, but I reckon they're just trying to convince themselves. Imagine the crunch of bones, the squish of underdeveloped organs, and the faint aroma of, dare I say it, death. It's enough to make your stomach turn, but hey, different cultures, different strokes, right? Some people say it's an aphrodisiac. Personally, I think it's more likely to put you off your food for a lifetime. Next. Now let's hop over to beautiful Sardinia, Italy, where they take their cheese very, very seriously. I'm talking about casu marzu, a cheese so pungent, so alive, it's actually illegal. This isn't your average Parmesan, folks. This cheese is deliberately infested with live maggots. They take pecorino cheese and let cheese flies lay their eggs inside. The maggots hatch, and their digestive systems break down the cheese fats, making it soft and, well, extra pungent. Some people might call this disgusting. Me? I call it a bloody health hazard. These little critters can jump up to 6 inches when disturbed. The taste? Apparently it's sharp, spicy, and leaves a burning sensation. Some say it's an acquired taste. I say it's an acquired taste for wanting to vomit. Casu marzu is one cheese platter I'll be steering well clear of. Logic? Out the window with this one. Hold your breath, everyone, because we're heading to Sweden for a culinary experience that will knock you off your feet. It's called surströmming, and it's fermented herring that smells like a sewer on a hot summer's day. This stuff is so potent it's banned on most airlines. Imagine opening a can of this on a plane. It'd be absolute carnage. People would be throwing up in the aisles fighting over the oxygen masks. But what makes surströmming so special, you ask? Well, it's all in the fermentation process. They catch the herring in the spring, salt them, and then let them ferment in barrels for a couple of months. The result? A bubbling, bulging can of fishy, putrid goodness. People say it smells like rotten eggs, dirty diapers, and a hint of death. Apparently the taste is even worse. It's salty, sour, and lingers in your mouth like a bad dream. Look, I'll try anything once, but surströmming? That's a hard pass from me. I'd rather eat my own shoe. Ever wondered what rotten shark meat tastes like? No? Well, you're about to find out anyway. Let's journey to Iceland, where they have a delicacy called hakarl, which is essentially fermented Greenland shark. Sounds delicious, right? Here's the thing. Greenland sharks don't have kidneys, they pee out of their skin, so their meat is loaded with uric acid and trimethylamine oxide, which, in layman's terms, means it's basically poisonous. But don't worry, the ingenious Icelanders have found a way to make it edible. They bury the shark meat underground for a few months, letting it ferment and rot. This process breaks down the toxins and leaves behind a pungent, ammonia-rich treat. When it's ready to eat, hakarl has a strong, cheesy odor that's enough to knock you sideways. The taste? Imagine a mouthful of ammonia-soaked cleaning products, with a hint of fish and a side of regret. Apparently the first bite is the worst. It's supposed to make your eyes water and your throat burn. Honestly, I'd rather wrestle a live shark than take a bite of this stuff. You've been warned. Let's take a trip to China, where they've perfected the art of preserving eggs. And I'm not talking about your average pickled eggs. I'm talking about century eggs, also known as 1,000-year-old eggs. These eggs are preserved in a mixture of clay, ash, salt, quicklime, and rice hulls. The result? A jet-black egg with a gelatinous amber-colored yolk. It's a sight that could make a grown man weep. But surprisingly, the taste is not as bad as it looks. Century eggs are often served as a delicacy, added to congee, noodles, or tofu dishes. So if you're looking for an adventurous snack, give century eggs a try. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to dive into the world of Japanese cuisine with a dish that's not for the faint of heart. Shiokara. It's a fermented seafood paste that's definitely an acquired taste. Imagine this. You take various seafood like squid, fish guts, or shellfish and ferment them in their own viscera with salt for weeks. That's right, you heard me correctly. We're talking guts and all. The result is a pungent, salty, and incredibly intense paste that's not for the uninitiated. It has a strong, ammonia-like aroma that can clear a room faster than you can say sushi. Shiokara is often served in small doses as an appetizer, alongside sake or beer. It's said to have a umami-rich flavor that's both savory and slightly sweet. But let's be honest, it's the kind of dish that you either love or hate. Some people say it tastes like a combination of blue cheese, anchovies, and the bottom of a fishing boat. Now let's take a trip down to Mexico, where they have a unique delicacy that's not for the squeamish escamoles. These are the edible larvae and pupae of ants, often referred to as insect caviar. You heard that right, folks. We're talking about ant eggs, specifically the eggs of black ants that nest in the roots of agave plants. Now before you turn your nose up, let me tell you, escamoles have been a delicacy in Mexico since the Aztec times. They're considered a rare and prized ingredient, often fetching a high price in markets. So, what do they taste like? Apparently, escamoles have a delicate, slightly nutty flavor with a creamy texture. Some people say they taste like buttered popcorn, while others describe the flavor as buttery and earthy. They're often pan-fried with butter, onions, and spices, and served in tacos, omelets, or as a standalone dish. They're also a good source of protein and nutrients, making them a healthy and sustainable alternative to traditional meat. Just close your eyes, take a bite, and imagine you're eating caviar. Hold on to your chopsticks, because we're about to dive into the wild world of Korean cuisine, with a dish that's as controversial as it is intriguing: sanakji. This delicacy involves eating live octopus, and it's not for the faint of heart. Here's how it goes down. A live octopus is chopped into small pieces, usually while it's still wriggling, and served immediately. The tentacles are still active, meaning they're still squirming and suctioning to everything they touch, even your plate. The key to eating sanakji is to chew thoroughly. Those suction cups are no joke, and they can stick to your throat if you're not careful. It's a dish that requires caution, a sense of adventure, and a strong gag reflex. But in Korean culture, sanakji is considered a delicacy, a symbol of freshness and vitality. It's a culinary adventure that's not for everyone, but for those who dare to try it, it's an unforgettable experience. Buckle up, we're diving into kiviak, a traditional Inuit delicacy from Greenland. This dish is so intense even I wouldn't touch it. Imagine taking a whole seal and stuffing it with hundreds of little birds. Not just any birds, but auks, small, penguin-like birds. The seal is sewn up and buried underground for months to ferment. Yes, fermented birds inside a seal carcass. The fermentation gives kiviak its unique, pungent flavor. When ready, the seal is dug up and the birds are pulled out. The delicacy is the fermented innards of the birds. It's meant to have a strong, cheesy flavor like ripe blue cheese. Now I'm all for trying new things, but kiviak is where I draw the line. It's just wrong on so many levels. Alright folks, we've reached the final destination on our culinary journey through hell and back, and we're ending things with a bang, or rather a stare. Let me introduce you to tuna eyeballs, a delicacy in some parts of the world that's sure to make your eyes water. Now before you go running for the hills, let me tell you, tuna eyeballs are surprisingly versatile. They can be eaten raw, cooked, grilled, or even boiled. They're low in calories, high in protein and omega-3 fatty acids, so they're practically health food. In Japan, you can find tuna eyeballs sold in supermarkets, usually for less than $1 a piece. They're often simmered with soy sauce, mirin, and sugar until they're tender and flavorful. Some people say they taste like a cross between squid and octopus, with a slightly fishy, slightly gelatinous texture. But let's be honest, the hardest part about eating a tuna eyeball is getting over the initial shock factor. Staring into that big, glassy eye can be a bit unnerving, but once you get past the appearance, you're in for a unique and surprisingly tasty treat. So there you have it, you Muppets. The 10 most disgusting foods from around the globe. From fermented shark to wriggling octopus, we've seen it all. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a bit queasy after that culinary roller coaster. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating content. Let us know in the comments which of these foods you dare to try. And for the love of God, if you do decide to try any of these dishes, let me know how it goes. I'll be here waiting with a bucket.